I think it's working. Oh, it's definitely working. Ideal. Cool. Hi. Hello. Welcome back. If you're new here, sup. My name is Elmo, and today I'm going to tell you my thoughts on The Hunger Games Mockingjay. I finished this morning. Sure did. Good lord. Suzanne? Who gave you the authority, who gave you the audacity to do that to me personally? I'm taking this off because it's really warm in this office. Mockingjay was first published in 2010, so for anyone who's been living under a rock for the past 15 years, or who, like me, had not read these until recently, yikes. This is the third book in the original trilogy of Hunger Games books. You had The Hunger Games, you had The Hunger Games Catching Fire, and then you've got The Hunger Games Mockingjay. First port of call for thoughts. Did I like it? Yeah, of course I did. It emotionally wrecked me, and I was glad of it. So what? All of the other Hunger Games books have been 5-star reads. This is not an exception. This just proves the rule. It's iconic is what it is. And I'm moving this up a bit because there we go. Something I think that Mockingjay does very explicitly, which the other two maybe touch on, but not so much. Each book looks at a different sort of mechanism of control and rebellion. This one looks at how rebellion can blur the lines with control. So you've got the capital, right? Have all these districts. The capital lives in luxury because they live off of the fruits of the labour of all the districts who are all impoverished and not having a good time. The rebels are like, actually, the capital deserves to not exist anymore because this is fucked. They're right. And so they go about dismantling the capital, and that's what we see in this book. That's what this book's about. The rebels being like, here's another way we can fuck the capital up, babes. And they do, which is great. Now, the thing about the capital is that because they are so far removed from the reality of the lives in the districts, there's a lot of like performative elements in the capital. There's a lot of high fashion and just frivolity, that the harsh realities of reality, of living in the districts and not having enough food to eat, isn't really considered at all, especially in the previous two books. In this book, it's kind of revealed that the capital isn't all that it's built up to be. There are people in the capital who also are starving. It's the perpetuation of the image that you have everything, even when you don't. So that's fun. That's great. But yeah, something that the rebels have to do in order to gain empathy or support from people in the capital is to use capital means. And by that I mean they have to make propaganda that they will put on TV and be like, look at all the shit that the capital does, and we're fighting against that because we're good, actually. We're the good people. Something to know, people who claim that they're the good guys aren't always the good guys, especially in places of conflict and particularly places of warfare. It really is an exchange of casualties. It sucks. It's a really good book, but it sucks because the rebels have to find more and more means to disrupt the capital and do big things that get them noticed and are like, we're fucking coming for you, which they do. There's a huge stronghold thing, and they're like, hey, this is where all of the peacekeepers, which are basically military police, this is where a lot of those guys are. So if we take out this one location in District 2, we fuck up their ability to fight back. There are a bunch of civilians also in this place that we're targeting. Sucks for them, I guess. It's very obvious throughout Mockingjay that people within the rebellion, their lines are drawn in different places. It's really, really obvious near the end of the book when they've taken control of the capital, they're starting to dismantle things, and basically they bring the Hunger Games back, the thing that started this need to dismantle things in the first place, and they're like, okay, what if we brought them back, but we used the capital's children so that they understood the pain we went through, because apparently the ongoing rebellion hasn't been painful enough. The fact that they also kind of live impoverished lives, even though they get to dress up and live fancy, that doesn't really matter because they're in this place, so that means they're bad. Oh my god! Yep. And a lot of them are like, yeah, actually, I think we should endanger more children who had no input at all in the way the world works. I think we should put them in a fight to the death so that the adults can think about what they've done in upholding the system. It's so frustrating, and like, you understand where they're coming from. These are district-born people who have been downtrodden their entire lives. They literally mean nothing to the capital. They're completely expendable, although some of the rebels also see them as expendable, so it's not going well for the rebels of Panem. Did I like the book? Yes. Is it harrowing? Yes. Does it blur the lines between good guys and bad guys? Yes. Does it show that machines of war don't actually care for civilian casualties or the wellness of the people just as long as they get retribution? Yes. It's a rough book, and unfortunately one I think many people need to read. Things it did well: blurred the lines between good and evil. Good and evil. They're all fighting for the world to be a certain way, one of which is fighting for it to be a certain way where there isn't like an on top class and a below class, and the other is fighting for that. One is arguably worse, let that be said. But also the whole kind of system of politics, even elected leaders are technically an above class. They get to dictate the rules by which you live, and oftentimes they consider themselves above such rules because they're the leader. The rebels in Mockingjay are just a downsized version of what already existed. Because the capital were like, let's have a Hunger Games to remind them that we're in control, and we'll steal children from all the districts to fight to the death, but our children will be safe. And the rebels were like, what if we reversed that so that the capital felt unsafe? Because the districts already are, and we can just live our lives, but these guys need to know the pain. Yeah, that's not really better. It's not really better, is it? Suzanne, why? I love literary themes of conflict and rebellion. Mockingjay fucked me up for that. That was great. Well done, Suzanne. Well done. Good job. Things I didn't like? I don't know. I don't think there was anything I didn't like, to be honest. I do think the end was a bit rushed. I mean, I get it needed to be fresh to be a motivation for the characters to do things. Maybe that's the point. Maybe that's the point, is that we didn't get time to grieve this specific character because we didn't get time with the others. And that's kind of the point, is that in conflict, all lives are the same insignificant tiny amount. It doesn't matter if you're a medic or a sergeant or a victor twice running. Doesn't matter, you die the same. I get it. It hurt. It really did. I cannot emphasize enough how much that like 2-page epilogue did to make things feel okay. Because the end of Mockingjay really sets up the idea that they've done all this stuff, but none of it is stable, and any of it could resurge at any moment. They've used flex tape on a glacial like breakaway. That's what they've done. And they're like, it'll hold for a bit, but I'll be dead by then, so it doesn't matter. What? Why does it have to reflect reality so well, Suzanne? Also, it's so easy to forget in these books that Katniss is 17 years old. She's literally a child the entire book. I found myself forgetting that so often because of what she is experiencing and what she is kind of set up to have to do and what she is made to be by the rebellion. I forget she's still a child. Okay, Suzanne. Okay. It's not. For reference, it's not, but it's fine. Would I change anything about it? Probably not. I think it's good as is, personally. I think it's good. Don't change a thing. The romance element. Let's talk about the romance element real quick. This book came out when I was at the start of secondary school. The reason I didn't read it then was because everyone talked about the love triangle, and that was all anyone cared about, and I was like, I don't want to read some cushy romance book. So I didn't. Do I think the romance element was played well in Mockingjay? Yeah, I don't see it ending a different way in that regard. I think Katniss's reflections of it are pretty much my opinions of it as well. Gale has a retributional fire, he has an anger, and he has a need to enact pain on others to relieve his own. That is not something that is helpful for Katniss as a character. So there you go. There you go. Them's the thoughts on that. Mockingjay was a 10 out of 10 for me. I know, I'm such an idiot. But 5 stars, honestly. Sunrise on the Reaping is in the corner, waiting to be read. I don't have Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes. I would like to read it. I've heard from a couple people that they didn't like it as much because it was more politically focused. I saw the film. If it's anything like the film, then I'm gonna vibe. It's gonna be a fun time. I get to deconstruct the politics of the Hunger Games origins. Sure thing. But I do have Sunshine and the Reaping that will be read soon. I have a lot of stuff on the backlog. I think that's it for this video, to be honest. I'm pretty sure my head's gonna be behind this mic for half of it. Sorry in advance. I couldn't be bothered to untie it and clean my floor, so we're here today. Yeah, Mockingjay is finished. Holy crap. Extra note, I forgot how gory some of these books are. There's a whole section in this that is insanely gory and just not a nice time. I understand why it's there, but it's painful. This book I didn't actually cry reading. I cried reading the other two. I didn't cry reading this. That's the thoughts. Them's the thoughts. That's it. Thanks for watching. I don't know what I'm gonna read. I really want to read The Odyssey soon. I'd like to read The Hobbit, but I feel like that's not the choice right now. I Who Have Never Known Men, I should probably start actually. That's gonna be good. Ellen said I'd like it, and as far as I'm aware, I'm gonna like it. So there's that. I started reading Private Rites the other week. I'm literally like a chapter in. It's weird. It's reading like a climate dystopia, but nowhere has it been advertised as one. So I don't really know. I don't know what's happening with that. I'll be so for real. A lot of reading to do. But I finished Mockingjay. Okay. Cheers, Suzanne. You did a good job. I'm gonna go do something else now. I have a really long list of things to do. It's honestly the worst, but we get through it. Anyway, hope your guys' reading is going well. It's going to be April soon. I am taking a break in April. So I hope to have some stuff prepared for the break. But knowing me, I won't do it. I just won't. I'll forget. So don't worry. I haven't died in April. I'm just not going to be about for like 5 to 6 weeks. Hope your reading's going well. Hope your lives are not too insane at the moment. The sun has literally just come out. I've been waiting for that all morning. Oh, I have hope again. I'm gonna get a few things done and maybe start editing because I got like 3 videos to edit. Thank you for watching. If you did, you might not have. You might clicked off like 4 minutes ago. Enjoy life, enjoy books, enjoy anything else that comes your way. I will see you when I see ya. See ya. You can see the plant. Just barely alive. I'm so glad I get to use this wall now. I couldn't use it because my desk was against it. And I'm like, it's such a nice green wall. Atmospheric is what it is. Also, I'm wearing my new favourite t-shirt. Isn't it cool? It says my body is a temple to destruction. It's a shoot from the hip quote because I'm obsessed with shoot from the hip now. So that was a really loud squeak, chat.